Yo, welcome back to the Red or Blue Pill channel, people. Thank you for returning subscribers. If you're new, what we do is go through creepy TikToks that make you question reality. Don't forget, sub up, turn on notifications, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's roll.
Have you heard the scary breaking news out of Washington and Oregon? Well, Northern Oregon to be specific. They are finding these parasitic creature critters in the water in the whole state of Washington and parts of Oregon, as I mentioned. This is a high concentration of them, of what they look like. But typically, if you turn on your faucet, there's only a few of them in your glass, and they'll cling to the bottom or to the side, so you don't notice them. But people are drinking them up without noticing. And scientists don't know what they are. They've never seen them before. But so far they show that they're harmless. They see that when they get to the stomach, they get into the bloodstream and make their way up to the brain, where they hang out and drink just a little bit of blood to nourish themselves. But it's not going to hurt the human. It's a little bit of blood, but they don't know long term what the effects are. And so they're going to follow them closely and see. But I'm curious, those from Washington and Northern Oregon, have you seen them in your water? Are you buying store-bought water? How is the general public doing with this?
What in the parasite is going on? Is it me, or is there parasites everywhere now? I never even knew about parasites as a kid. Just crack on, you know what I mean? Go in, play mud, eat mud, boom, good for your immune system, go away. Now, we got parasites swimming in our water. You drink water, parasites are everywhere. I've seen parasites that are like, I don't know, snakes being pulled out and stuff. And I was going through a phase of going through TikTok, and all it was people having cleanses and these weird things coming out of their body, if you know what I mean. You've probably seen it, if you know what I mean, if you've done one yourself. But scientists don't know what they are. Well, what about the scientists that are making these things? Hey, they'll know. Let's go speak to them ones.
Did you know that all the world's internet cords are in the ocean? In the ocean. There's not a lot of things that shocked me. This absolutely shocked me. I am flabbergasted. There's enough cords in the ocean, read, to wrap around Earth 22 times. 22! They try to put these cords as deep in the ocean as possible, the deepest one being from North Korea, going down 24,000 miles. I don't know about you. I've always thought this is where the internet came from. I would even understand possibly from here. But never did I think this is where our internet came from. And this is where it stays. It kind of makes me think about this. And the story that broke not too long ago about a certain species being in the ocean.
All to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos.
About alien cities and civilizations in the depths of the sea.
This is the part of waking up, peeps. See, this is what happens. Is because you start questioning very simple things like, oh, how does this work? Or how does that work? And then suddenly you start opening up a can of worms, and then that can of worms opens up different can of worms, because then you start thinking, well, how does it all work? And in a very simple way, that is how the Great Awakening starts. Literally, you question one thing, and then boom, the next thing you know it, you've got a channel on YouTube called the Red or Blue Pill, and going through TikToks, and you just can't come back from it. You can't come back from it. So you got to be ready if you want to do this, because if you ain't, then just go back, because do you know what? It is a lot easier.
He is not human. Y'all, this is actually wild. So on Twitter, he put his birthday or verified date as 3000 BCE. Now y'all think I'm joking or I'm reaching, but let me show you some things that might change your mind. Because it appears as if Elon Musk may be telling the truth. And he's far from the only person. I'll show you many more in a minute, but do you remember when Kevin Gates said he was 3,000 years old and the son of a fallen angel? Let me guess, he's joking too? When we think about these celebrities or stars, like in the Bible when stars are talking about angels, fallen angels as if they have lived before, y'all don't believe me, but these people have been around for a long time. In the early days in America was not their start. These aren't doppelgangers. They have been here forever. And it's not just this. These people actually received worship just like the fallen angels and just like the men of renown, the Nephilim. And just like them, people like this received worship, and they say they've been around from 3000 BCE. The richest and smartest people around. And the crazy part with him saying 3000 BCE, that puts him right before the biblical flood. when the fallen angels came to the daughters of man. Most scholars believe that the biblical flood was between 2500 and 2000 BC. Call it crazy, I think these people are telling the truth.
Would you call me crazy if I said that could actually be legit? And I actually think that could be a thing. Is that these people have been around for a long time. And they've got technology. They know how to do something. Somewhere along the line, they know how to live. And the technology we're seeing now, this is why you can see it. You can see it. Like in 1,000 years, the technology we're going to have is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. But they've already got it because these people have probably been around for thousands and thousands of years already. So they've got this cloning technology or, whatever it is. They've made an artificial body which isn't made of human and flesh. They're just tearing around the place looking like us, but they're not us. And they just that's why they're, the great resets. They just get rid of the people that start thinking, hang on a minute, something's not right here. But what's going to happen this time? Because this time it feels like they're running. But hang on a minute. He's teaming up with Trump. I don't know. Yep. I don't know. I'm just thinking on my feet, people, all right? I don't know.
It's not really hollow. There are cities underneath the earth, and they've been down there. The people went down there at the fall of Atlantis. There's a whole city. It's got a sun. It's got water. It's got lakes. It's got animals. It's beautiful, and they're more highly advanced than we are. But that is inside of the earth.
And they live thousands of years old, I understand.
Oh, it's been down there since Atlantis. The survivors of Atlantis, some of them went into the hollow earth. The entrances are found underneath the pyramids of the world. They had the entrances to the hollow earth, and the pyramids were built on top of the entrances. This means the one in Egypt, the one in South America, anywhere there's a pyramid, there will be an entrance going down into the hollow earth.
Mate, they're going to have a way better GTA than us. You know that, don't you? They're going to be on like GTA 106. And can you imagine what that's going to be like?
Move back! Move back! Everybody move back! Move now! Move! Back!
Wow.
James, keep over!
Friends are going sooner or later.
That right there is a perfect example of what I'm talking about through different, past videos that I have done, where I always say that floods don't make sense. It doesn't make sense on how much water comes down to how these places flood. And I know you're going to, there could be burst banks and things, but still, it doesn't make sense. This much rainfall does not cause the massive floods that we see. And especially this year and last year, and the UK is a perfect example. Like, there it wasn't even raining, but we have had storms, and I don't know how severe it was there, but it's like water comes from the ground. Like, it's like there's something manufacturing the waters and the floods. It's not just normal rainfall. Why am I doing this? I'm very hand expressive at the moment, but do you know what I mean? Like, and this is because when I was younger, I used to think, like, how do people get caught in floods? Because if it's raining really hard, you would be like, right, I need to get sorted here because it's raining really hard. Looks like it's going to flood. I'm out of here, and you'd have a bit of time. But this is probably why, because people don't get any time. Just this massive water comes out of nowhere because it's coming from the ground and just fills up. Like, if we was in a dome, and then someone turn on something for the waters for it to go underneath and push up, and it just comes from the ground. Apparently there's loads of water underneath our oceans, like maybe there's something being controlled there and pushing it up. I'm onto something there. It's all underground, peeps. It's all underground. didn't even know that was an advert, but that was the most trippiest thing. That's how I see the dimensions, you know, like just it's layers on layers. Like we are literally a tiny little speck to some giants, but they're normal size. They're not even giants in their world. They're just normal size. You know what I mean? You get small people, medium, tall, and then there's people probably watching them, and they're small, and then they're not giants in their world, but they're medium size, tall, and sort of, you know, like us. And then they've got giants above them, and it's like a dome after dome after dome until you get to the top, and they're just like mountains, you know, like we're just little specks of dust, literally specks of dust, but we're a world. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy, isn't it? Really trippy. Can you imagine, like, you know, doing some stuff? Like, I don't do that stuff, but I can imagine that if you did that stuff and then watch that video, you'd be tripping.
When I watched the movie Grown Ups for the first time in college with my roommates, and I didn't think it was funny, they all thought I was insane. But now I find out that Rob Schneider actually said that his entire role in the movie was just an Illuminati humiliation ritual.
What happens is with actors, you're in a vulnerable situation. You know, you're in a vulnerable place, you're trying to get a job, and there's people who could use that power to abuse it. I was a young actor. Yeah, I was asked to go to a hotel room of a director. It was a famous director, and I didn't think anything weird by it because I never think it had ever happened to me. And so I went, and he was in his robe. I still didn't think it was weird. Well, he probably just came out of the shower or whatever. And then he asked me to do the scene and then crawl on my belly around it, and it got to a weird place. I remember that humiliation, and I didn't tell anybody. The agents are creeps too, you know, and then trying to get a job, and the casting directors can be, and the people who are the producers, the directors. I mean, it's rampant in the industry. There's not one actress who doesn't have a story. Just before I was really famous, and the next thing I know, I'm in a room with this guy. He's in a chair, and he's in a row. Comes out of the bathrobe and sits in this chair. And the next thing you know, I'm like, he's asking me to crawl on the ground, and then to crawl toward him, and it was just this disgusting feeling.
And with all the stuff coming out about this guy and the weird things in Hollywood, it makes you wonder what's going to come out next.
Well, Hollyweird just gets weirder, and people are coming out and talking about stuff, weird stuff. It's starting to open up, and we're starting to find out from the actual people themselves. So I think we'll know more, I reckon, by the end of this year. I mean, what's everyone think's going to happen? Do you think there's going to be a finale? A finale for the end of this year? Because it's been a crazy year, but we've got December to go yet. So do you think it's going to go out with a bang, or do you think we've seen the most of it now? What's everyone thinking? I'm thinking something loco is going to happen at some point in December. I don't know what, where, but I don't know if it's going to be a bombshell information. I don't know if E.T.'s going to walk around my garden. I don't know if it's going to be, a massive Mandela effect because we've been shifted into a different reality again. I don't know if we're going to go, walk into a portal and be back in 1940 or something. Something crazy is going to happen though, peeps. I can feel it. Feel it in my bones.
Plane's gonna tip over. Plane's gonna tip over. Plane's gonna tip over.
Well, I'm not sure if that one is real or not. It looks like it's probably not, but there is some genuine testimonies and footage of that happening in a military testing site where they sent, like a test up a rocket, and then you see, and there is a video of it, and you see the little orb come in and zap it, and it just malfunctions, which is pretty crazy, really, especially with it all coming out now. This was back a long time ago. So I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Trying to speak to people, but back then, nobody would talk about UFOs. But now I can. Yeah. I mean, it's out. It's in Congress. There is UFOs, people. They're in the seas, apparently, which we've known for many years. But now everyone else is catching up. So Yeah, maybe it's going to be UFOs coming out of the sea. Maybe that's what's going to happen in December.
If you really went to the moon and spent $200 billion, you would never destroy the technology. But one of the clips we have is them saying that they intentionally destroyed all of the equipment to go to the moon. All the diagrams, all the hardware, all the schematics, all the original telemetry of where the rocket was at the time, and all the original videotapes. Ron Howard's grandfather warned him the moon landings were fake. He didn't listen. He wanted to make an IMAX movie. He went to NASA, said, give me all the originals so I can transfer it to HD, and project it at 120 feet wide. They said, give us a couple of days. And in those days, they lost every single original videotape from every single Apollo mission. Now, if you really went to the moon and spent $200 billion, the last thing you would do is destroy that technology. But if you perpetrated a fraud, that's exactly what you would do.
Yeah. Wow. I think one of the most interesting ones I've watched is one of the actual astronauts admitting that they did make a Hollywood movie as a plan B. They not admitting that they used a Hollywood movie as the plan B, but that they did make a Hollywood movie just in case they didn't make it to the moon. So they were intending to use it if they didn't make it. So, you know, you don't know if they made it or not because they would have used it. So they were intending to use it if they're making it as a plan B. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, the moon landing is sus, if you ask me, people. But, you know, it's for entertainment purposes only. So, yeah, and what do I know?
Squirrel has faked its own death and then even staged a crime scene. All right, so in a clip that's gone viral, the rodent knocks over a broom. When it fails to land in a convincing position, the squirrel has a bit of a rethink, a forward roll, so it ends up under the broom. Looks pretty convincing for a devastating murder scene. And hang on, final flourish. The squirrel ending up with arms splayed and the murder weapon across its chest.
Some people believe that you are an alien. I am an alien. You are. Please, now you are uncovered. Yes. I could believe I'm an alien, but nobody believes me. Number 6.
He's joked about this numerous times, and a lot of people say he's just being facetious, just making light of a serious issue. When people often say, "Are you an alien?" he would retort, "Of course." And this can be found on various clips, like this next one.
Question is, do you think there is other intelligent life outside the Earth?
It seems probable, but I think this is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, is where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know. Some people think I'm an alien. Not true. Not true.
But maybe we are aliens.
Of course I said
maybe we are aliens, isn't? I mean, if you look at this part.
And maybe he's just trolling us. He himself admitted he likes poking fun, having fun, and he enjoys trolls. He doesn't mean it. No, not by any means. This is just games. After all, we know that aliens don't exist. At least not yet. We haven't been disclosed with that information. No one has verified or confirmed that in a position of authority. They've stated that these are interdimensional beings, and they're very careful to tiptoe around it. There are some people that believe that aliens are demons, myself included, but the views and the theories vary widely. So, if he's saying he's an alien and he understands that they are in reality interdimensional beings or demons, is he then in jest saying that he is a demon? Look, I don't know. I really don't. This video is just for entertainment purposes. It is an original commentary from a person who is a Christian, an opinionated commentary by me. All original, edited, posted, and created by me on my phone for you, the viewers, just to be entertained and give your thoughts and opinion. Viewer discretion advised. You'll make your own decision on this. But I think the real threat currently is not the demon masquerading as aliens. It's the artificial intelligence. Because as your man famously said, with AI, we're summoning the demon. It's quoted. You can find it. So while he encourages people to give control to the AI or uses the most strongest AI in the world, he would also like for you to install the Neuralink interface in your brain. So one day you'll be able to use the X phone for free with your mind. The same thing that'll be connected to the Tesla cars, the phones, the satellites that all over the earth that are centralized on one server. And guess who's going to have control of all this? I'm pretty sure you did guess it. Facetious? Probably. Nefarious? Objectively. Dangerous? Without a doubt. And anybody who's blind to this and is saying, well, we're just going overboard, you're not really seeing what's being played out. You obviously haven't seen a movie in the 80s or 90s because it feels like they were prehistoric prequel documentaries to what the future held. So is the demon ushering in the beast for the AC? Look, I have no idea. This video, again, is just for entertainment. I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is just an original commentary on my own personal religious beliefs. Please take everything with a grain of salt and don't believe anything you see in this video. And hopefully I said enough for the AI system controlling everything to realize that we're just joshing around, just saying everything in jest. There's no way that any of us believe that the beast will be able to see everything, will be evolved in everything, will usher in everything, will then control everything. We don't believe that at all. I believe society is heading into a utopia where everybody will have technological advances and be able to do what they want happily and live freely and have control of their own lives. So in the words of the immortalized Mr. Musk, we want to create a symbiotic relationship with humans so the Neuralink and other things can work cohesively with people so we can transcend to another level, elevate. Transhumanism. Transhumanism.
Whoa, I've just been thinking, peeps, and you know it's dangerous, and I'm thinking. You know, earlier on in the video, if you haven't skipped, have you skipped, or did you listen to me earlier on? Well, basically, earlier on, I was saying about how, you know, people could be here thousands of years, living, you know, they've just learned, maybe they're not human, you know, they've just learned how to stay alive for thousands of years. Well, basically, there's a gene, isn't there? That it's to do with blood. You know, vampires, like maybe they have found whatever ages us, they've found a reversal to aging. So maybe they are human, but they have just found a way to keep themselves young or make himself young again and regenerate as somebody else. And this is why, basically, in a previous video, we worked out that people that look alike, maybe they change them. That's why they change themselves from men to women to men to women to men to women. So they're dodging people realizing that they're in photos all this time. Maybe that's why. Yeah, don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Entertainment, absolutely balmy. Entertainment. Just thinking on my.
They got her. They got her. What is going on in Hollywood, you guys? Why are they all looking the same? Kelly Osbourne is pretty much unrecognizable at this point. What do you guys say? The most recognizable thing about Kelly at this point is her purple hair. But she looks nothing like herself in the face. Not at all. I find it a little suspicious. I find it a little bit odd. When millionaires throw birthday parties with hot dogs and loads of pizza. Pizza seems to be very famous in Hollywood these days. Going back and looking at old pictures of Kelly Osbourne, it makes you wonder, do you think she knew what happened to Amy Winehouse? Do any of you believe that love feels like a disease that consumes you eternally? I think a lot of people forget about the circles back in the day, you know? Here we'll see John Mayer's old makeout buddies, Kelly and Hilton. And I know when you hear Hilton, you're thinking Paris. No, I'm talking about Perez. Rumor has it, John Mayer and Perez Hilton had a little makeout session on New Year's Eve with Jessica Simpson right beside him. And looking at this group of people, it kind of makes you wonder what other secrets they hold. Oh, what webs they weave. You guys need to do some digging. Going back to decades worth of friendship, it makes you wonder, what have they seen? What do they know? And what happened on this night? Is Hollywood what it seems?
What is going on? Like, all the celebrities look the same now. They've all got this, like, clone look. Like, no wrinkles. Like a filter, basically. Is this just filters? Or what? Because everyone I see... it can't be, because I do look on their, like, pages and stuff. Lindsay Lohan, I looked on her page. Like, it's legit. I've not looked at Kelly Osbourne, but yeah, go check it out, see what you think, because that is completely worlds apart of what she used to look like. But it's not the change in appearance. People can do great things with, diets and fitness and looking after yourself. It's that they're all looking wrinkle-free, like a clone look, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
So the game is this here on Earth. They can only control us with our thoughts. That they try and manipulate. And once you figure out the game, that we're in control, remember, free will equals consensual universe. They have to control you through you. So that's why they're putting a load of fear out there. So we try and create these timelines with our minds. We're that powerful. Oh my God.